Alright, I am uninstalling Blizzard.
If you look on BattleNet, it's all there. The article's all there.
Too late, bitch.
Basically, this new system, they're calling it Defense Matrix. Like this ironic play on words, I guess. The whole thing is like, it's designed to monitor in real time various things that like potentially toxic or undesirable players are doing and saying in the midst of the game. You know, instead of having a human-based reporting system, because I guess that's probably just too expensive for their precious little budget, they have machine learning that can literally follow everything that you say and every word that you state in real time and ban you accordingly based on whether or not you said something that's undesirable. Your microphone is basically constantly active, and so it can check all the time. If you get reported for saying something, it will constantly look and see if what you said was good or bad, and it bans you.
That's unbelievable.
The term Orwellian gets thrown around so much, but like, how is this anything other than Orwellian?
Well,
like,
it isn't for anyone who hasn't read that book.
I mean, it literally can, in real time, check what you are doing, what you are saying, and punish you accordingly if you're not saying the right things. Like, how much more totalitarian can it be?
Right. Who is deciding this?
Well, you don't know. By installing the game and having it run on your computer, you are allowing Blizzard to monitor everything that goes through your microphone. Everything.
Yeah, does anyone see a problem with this?
Of course not. You're a conspiracy theorist. What's wrong with you? How dare you think that that's wrong? It's good for the game. It's good for the health and safety of our players, guys. God forbid someone says something that hurts my feelings. Control and monitor everybody, because that's the answer. Even if it means that no one has any freedom anymore.
That's craziness, because any good group of gamers would mass report an asshole. That's what you do.
You're supporting the patriarchy, okay?
What?
Only someone supporting the patriarchy would make that comment.
I mean, I just call it, you know, basic human decency.
No, it's not decency, because you have to stop these bigots. You not wanting to stop the bigots is indecent. Don't you understand?
No, you're indecent, Shirley.
You saying I'm indecent is bigotry, because you're not allowed to say mean things to me. They should have your microphone turned on right now, because then they ban you.
Well, that's why I uninstalled it. Good luck being watched, bitch.
Then I'm going to report you to the internet police.
That's why we shut it all down. I'm shutting it down after this video.
You spoke in a way that hurt my feelings. You should be banned.
Not if I ban you first, honey.
I'm protected.
The system is put in place so people don't spam the N-word, you know, all over the place. But, I mean, back in my day, we would just, you know, all mass report that one asshole.
You know, that's the way to do it, but that's not as cheap as it is just to get someone to, like, get...
I'll do it for free.
That would mean that they can't use their totalitarian systems anymore, and all that money they went into, all that government money they got to monitor people, would go to waste, right? And they don't want to make Big Daddy government upset. Daddy Dumb Uncle Sam. You gotta keep him happy.
Damn, bro.
It's absolutely horrible and draconian and totalitarian. It's insane to me that people are actively promoting that this is a good thing. It's people in the comments like, oh, this is so great. It's about time. I wonder how many of those people are fucking bots.
Right?
People are fucking plants by Blizzard that are being paid to put that shit on the fucking forums and stuff. Because who actually is okay with everything they do being monitored? And the argument of like, oh, if you're not doing anything wrong, you have nothing to hide is bullshit. That's true. Unjustifiable search and seizure. Absolutely. If you're not doing anything wrong, you shouldn't be searched. If there's not reason to believe that it's worthwhile, then you shouldn't be searched. And how, like, if these fucking, like, overly sensitive little fucking bitches on the internet can't determine what is healthy speech and what isn't healthy speech, how could they provide a justifiable reason to infringe on someone's privacy? Like, how is their argument valid enough? If they're so offended that you can't say certain words without them feeling like they're being personally attacked, how could anyone justifiably rely on them as a resource to say, hey, this person's opinions are valid in terms of hearing out like something that's offensive. Like, I can trust that this person is making a valid report. What happens when people get ganged up on? What happens when someone runs a fucking soundboard in the background that says the N-word over and over again? A bunch of people get unjustifiably banned for it. What happens then? Who takes the blame for it? Is it going to be Blizzard? No, it's no. If bigotry didn't exist, then people wouldn't have those types of soundboards. So, you need to stop the patriarchy and not our system. It's not totalitarian. You're placing the blame in the wrong place. It's insanity. Absolute, utter, ridiculous, crazed insanity. And this is our world as it stands. This is our world. This is the world we're in now. This is the world that everybody wanted, that people clamored for governments to take charge and to keep people safe from bigotry and blah, blah, blah. Well, this is it. This is the world we get. We get a world where you can't even speak without being monitored. One to where you will inevitably be victimized by this as well, even if you ask for it. Because you will inevitably be, given a false positive because the system is controlled by machines.
Hell yeah, preach.
This is what you wanted. You asked for this.
Well, not me.
The people who are clamoring for this and saying it's a good thing fucking asked for this.
Yep. I can't believe that it's come to this point. It's absolute lunacy. Like, I'm in shock.
Like, I don't even know what to say or do anymore. I joke with you all the time, like the old classic games had it right, and they did. When I was 8 years old playing Final Fantasy, I was never thinking about the possibility that my console could be fucking listening to me while I play my video game.
Seriously, dude.
Whoever goes into a video game expecting to be monitored by a totalitarian, capitalistic fucking corporation that's trying to control social discourse.
Well, now you guys are getting played. Congratulations, fake gamers.
Utterly insane.
Yeah, so I just uninstalled. So VNet is gone, and I will never download it again. Thank you so much for killing my favorite game, Blizzard. Thank you for participating in a totalitarian regime. Thanks for that. Now I disconnect. This is psychotic. And I don't think a lot of people are thinking about this either.
Yeah, and people are going to call me an alarmist. Oh, you're overreacting. You're an alarmist. You realize this is just grooming the generation after you to support this kind of thing? You realize that all this is doing is giving these people the power to make even further totalitarian measures an option in the future? That's all that this does. It gives them the power to do more if they deem it necessary.
Yes, and the terms of deeming it necessary will continue to shrink or, get bigger depending on how you look at it.
Yeah, it's insanity.
What is there to do except talk about it? Everyone needs to just shut down Blizzard.
This is a global thing. A capitalist, corporatist, totalitarian regime that's enacting authoritarian principles on our culture and our civilization. And people want it because you can't possibly afford to have your precious fifis hurt by a video game. That's just too much for these sensitive little fucks.
Okay, I think the politically correct term is snowflake.
Whatever, it's all the same.
Yeah.
They're so sensitive, trap the entire world in an authoritarian, totalitarian system because I don't want my fucking feelings hurt. You can't do anything anymore without it being corrupted by fucking dictatorships and totalitarianism.
I know, it's so ironic how people were always talking about, anti-fascist. Well, really? Because now you created it. Like,
this is fascism. This is fascism in its purest form.
Antifa.
Unbelievable.
I don't even know what to say. I am in awe. I'm in shock and awe that people allowed this to happen. I was in no position of power. I'm in no position of power now. So all I can do is talk about it. But I can say it's super fucked up. We've all been tricked. Are they really going to make me vote for Joe Biden?
Absolute insanity.
Yeah, now it's time for everyone to put their money where their mouth is. And no one wants to do it. Oh, because of those regimes. Go figure. Because of those same regimes that will censor you on every platform. Remember when we gave you social media? Remember who's on whose hand here? Remember how happy you were about your social media? Well, now it has destroyed you just as we planned. And now we go to step 2 because we are playing the long game.
I've never liked social media. I've always thought it was corrosive and degenerative to human thought. I always thought that the concept that you have to limit your thoughts to a certain amount of characters is reductive and that it cheapens human discourse. I've never in my life thought that it was a good thing to control and limit the amount of discourse and the amount of conversation people can have. It eradicates nuance. It gets rid of the ability to make nuanced, contemplative, thoughtful, complete arguments. It literally strips away the ability to do that. And so social media was built off of this pretense of saying less, speak less. Because I used to hear the argument, well, anyone who can't make their point in 140 characters probably doesn't have a point worth making, which is literally the opposite. Like, that's literally the opposite of the truth. Arguments should be fleshed out. And now it's all about sound bites, making the wittiest remark. Who can make the sharpest comment, the most tactful and witty and clever, no matter how shallow it might be. But the thing that gets the most clicks, the thing that makes people chuckle, the cheapest, most shallow remark you can make. It's not about making an argument that considers multiple sides and comes to conclusions based upon external variables or different thought patterns that may not just be bound to one specific thing. I've always hated social media. And now it has reached the culmination of its negative elements. Humans are too connected. We should not be this connected because it's become a net negative because the people in power have found ways to exploit it. There are countries in the world now where you can't say the wrong thing without going to prison. And what is the wrong thing? The wrong thing is some arbitrary concept determined by a government or a system that doesn't want people thinking about certain things in certain ways. Because
Right.
those are the groups that make the fucking laws about what you can and can't say. So those things they don't want you to say, they have a reason that they don't want you to say them. It doesn't necessarily have to be steeped in reasons for truth. It could be the opposite. It could be that they don't want certain information proliferating in the public. No matter how true or untrue it might be, they just don't want the ideas out there. So
Yep.
they set laws to where you can't say things. And then it doesn't matter what truth is anymore.
No one knows what truth is anymore. No one knows what a woman is anymore. Of course. And it all started over words. Just words. I agree that, you can't put a real cognitive thought into 140 characters.
It's like infinite propaganda statements, right? Statements that are that small can be interpreted so many ways because there's no room for nuance. There's literally no space for nuance. And true, honest discourse designed to create progress, that's designed to make people think and to make people reconsider their ideas, is not only utilizes, but is steeped in and requires nuance. It is a core facet of creating a cogent argument, because arguments without nuance are ignorant. So taking away people's abilities to use nuance in argumentation is literally forcing people into arguments that are filled with ignorance. How are you going to use a source? How are you going to disprove someone with a source that uses 1,000 characters to disprove the point because of the amount of words or characters that it requires just to respond? How can you source things when you can't even type enough characters to finish the argument?
Yeah, well, it didn't make me laugh, okay? It wasn't a funny.
Right, because that's what we've been reduced down to. Primitive, basal, reactive responses to things. Funny comment on Twitter. Give e-girl money. Click like. Click retweet because I like me like.
Damn.
Humans have been turned into cattle.
Insert e-girl, moo.
Exactly. And instead of giving meat and milk and the things that cattle do, we give our person, we give our consciousness, we give our privacy, we give our intellectual thought,
Yep.
we give our personal information.
It's fucked.
Instead of having the bull lead all the cows down the hill when you run them, you just have the e-girl with her tits out and all the guys come chasing after her instead. You don't have to have the red cape or anything. Just take it off and they'll come running.
Yeah, I don't even need to hurt him anymore.
It's sick. It's Brave New World. This is from Brave New World. I mean, you read a little bit of Brave New World, right?
Yes.
It's crazy how people have always been like, well, who's going to be more right, Orwell or Huxley? And they were both right at the same time. Somehow we found a way to reduce human thought down to nothing while keeping people placated and on soma, or the equivalent of soma, overcharged with dopamine all the time that nothing makes us feel anything anymore. So we don't feel the fear of a totalitarian government. So we don't feel the suppression of not being able to speak. So we don't feel the anger of our entire generation of men being suppressed.
Yep. And
so women don't feel pity anymore. So women don't feel a natural need to be nurturing or caring anymore.
Yeah.
Men don't feel like they need to be breadwinners anymore. Men don't need to feel that way because why do that when you can just live for yourself and have all the carnal pleasures right at the tip of your fingers on the computer? Why care about anyone, women, when you have 1,000 men that will try to talk to you and give you money at any given moment just by making yourself present?
Yeah, congratulations. No one is that important.
You don't need to feel anymore. Well, fuck that. I feel a lot of shit. And I'm tired of feeling bad for feeling things.
Yep.
That's not the fucking world I live in. And if that means I got to turn off every fucking electronic device I own for the rest of time, I will do it.
Yep. I mean, time to get out those puzzles.
And that's the thing. Like I said earlier, like old school gaming is so pure. After broadband internet came out, so when it went downhill. Before that, gaming was so pure. You just turn on your game, have fun with your game, turn off your game when you get done, you go about your life. And now it's become so closely linked and integrated into the social element and the social fabric of society that they are interchangeable. You cannot have gaming without social elements. And that puts people under control.
Yeah, it puts us at risk because we rely on that social interaction.
It's like kind of like someone said to me, all this talk about cloud, having data in the cloud, all that means is that all your shit's stored on somebody else's hard drive. But they doctor it up a certain way to make it seem like this cool thing. But what it really is someone has all of your data on their machine. So like when you talk about social networking, social gaming, all it really means is that there's a totalitarian governing system that is dictating the discourse that you get to have with other people and creating the frameworks by which you get to communicate. You're being given the right to communicate with people under their rules.
Right. And communication is so important. And everything has just become a show. Oh, I need to look my best to get those likes. I saw this coming with toddlers and tiaras. Anyway, we now are there. Congratulations to all the social justice warriors. We did it. Yep. I remember one time I was guilted on the internet because I only posted one Black Lives Matter post. I posted at all. That's how aggressive it was. And now the government is aggressive because of dumb shit like that.
I'm just done. I'm done. I will stick to my SNES Classic. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna unplug. I have shit to work on that's artistic that exists in the real world.
Yep, I'd rather be playing Magic with people in person anyway.
This is insane.
It is.
Yep, so I'm gonna make this video and then continue to contemplate life. I don't know what this means going forward. I missed my chance to be an internet star, but that's okay. Because now I've taken content creation into my own hands. And I do think that this video should be posted somewhere. Because I think people need to think about what they've done.
Hopefully that's enough commentary. I'm burnt out.
I heard so many things about us jumping timelines. I wonder. I think we did.
Maybe.